In the vast frozen wilderness of the Yukon, where the cold bites like a beast and the landscape refuses to give up its secrets, one name has been rising like wildfire in the gold mining world: Parker Schnabel. A young but relentless force, Parker carries the weight of a family legacy that spans generations. He's never backed down from a challenge. Every season, every hardship, has only sharpened his hunger for gold and glory. The Yukon remains one of North America's last great frontiers for gold, an untamed land of rugged mountains, icy rivers, and endless forests. It's a place that doesn't just test a miner's skill, it tests their spirit, their endurance, and their will to survive. For years, Parker has chased whispers of a mother lode hidden beneath layers of frozen earth and unforgiving rock. Seasons have come and gone, filled with near misses and painful setbacks, but this year, something's different. The air is thick with anticipation. Locals and rival crews buzz with rumors. Parker's onto something huge, but no one knows just how big or where exactly the gold lies. If you love wild gold rush stories, hit like and subscribe now. You don't want to miss what's coming next. The stakes couldn't be higher. Financial pressure mounts, family pride hangs in the balance, and the opportunity to cement his place in Yukon gold. Rush history looms like a shining beacon. This isn't just another season. This could be the haul that changes everything. With that fire burning bright, Parker's team kicks off their hunt. Geological surveys reveal unusual concentrations of placer gold, the kind of sign seasoned miners live for. But the Yukon doesn't hand over its treasure easily. Permafrost layers thicken, resisting every shovel and machine. Icy rivers allow only narrow windows for dredging. Harsh weather threatens to freeze out progress before it even starts. It's a game of patience and precision. Parker's experience shines here. With an instinct honed by years spent in the dirt, he carefully chooses which spots to dig, balancing risk with the promise of massive reward. Early gold panning yields a higher nugget-to-silt ratio than ever before, a spark of hope that sends a jolt through the crew. Could this be the mother lode they've been chasing? The mood shifts between cautious optimism and electric excitement. Every scoop of dirt weighs heavy with possibility, and Parker's leadership holds the team steady amid the swelling tension. Then it happens. The sluice box, working overtime, begins to overflow with gold flakes and nuggets larger than anything they've seen all season. The camp erupts in disbelief and adrenaline. The gold is dazzling, pure, rich, and heavy, glowing like liquid sunlight against the cold steel. Nuggets the size of coins, flakes like tiny stars, all telling a story of deep veins and untold wealth. Despite freezing temperatures and exhaustion gnawing at their bones, the crew scrambles to seize the moment. Every hand moves faster, every heart pounds harder. Word spreads fast, rival crews pick up on the buzz, their envy and fear igniting fierce strategic moves behind the scenes. Parker feels the weight of more than just gold now. The pressure to protect this claim, this haul, is immense. The thrill of discovery fights a shadow of doubt. Can they hold on long enough to secure this fortune from the claws of rivals and the ruthless Yukon wilds? Extraction begins with surgical precision. Every flake, every nugget is carefully separated from dirt and gravel, rinsed meticulously through the sluice and collected with reverent hands. Parker and his crew work side by side, their movements deliberate, knowing that even the slightest misstep could cost them thousands of dollars. The frozen air thickens with anticipation as the gold is bagged and transported to the weigh station, a makeshift setup surrounded by rugged equipment and cameras capturing every moment. As the massive gold pile is placed on the scale, an eerie silence falls over the camp. The numbers climb, ounce by ounce, until the scale finally stops at a staggering 7,500 ounces. Parker's face, usually a mask of stoic confidence, breaks into a rare expression of disbelief. The crew erupts into cheers, some hugging, others simply staring in stunned awe. Beneath the jubilation lies a sober realization. This haul isn't just big, it is historic. It is a game changer. Experts who were flown in immediately began their assessments, confirming what everyone already suspected. Parker's haul was one of the largest recorded in the Yukon's modern history. To put it in perspective, most successful mining seasons would yield only a fraction of that amount. This haul was equivalent to years of hard work, compressed into a few intense weeks of mining. It set new records, resetting the bar for what was possible in the unforgiving Yukon. Comparisons were quickly drawn to other legendary finds, tales of bonanzas from the Klondike Gold Rush days, where fortunes were made and lost overnight. But Parker's haul was no mere relic of the past. It was a living, breathing proof that the Yukon still held treasures waiting for those bold enough to find them. The sheer financial weight of the haul was staggering. With gold prices soaring, this windfall promised to transform Parker's mining operation from a seasonal gamble into a multi-year enterprise with resources to innovate, expand, and dominate. News of the discovery spread faster than wildfire across social media and news outlets. Reporters and camera crews descended on the site, turning Parker's camp into an instant sensation. Fans of the Gold Rush shows flocked to witness history unfolding, while local businesses geared up for an unexpected boom. The once quiet mining outpost now buzzed with energy, lights, and the constant hum of activity. Security became paramount. Parker's camp transformed overnight from a mining operation to a fortress. Armed guards patrolled, surveillance cameras tracked every corner, and strict protocols were established to prevent theft or sabotage. Rival crews lurked nearby, some openly watching, others trying covert tactics to get a glimpse or sabotage the haul. The pressure was relentless. Every day brought new challenges, from managing media frenzy to keeping the crew focused amid the chaos. Inside the camp, tension simmered beneath the surface. The strain of expectations weighed heavily. Disagreements flared over how to best secure the haul and plan for the future. Roles that were once clear became blurred as stress revealed cracks in the team's unity. Some crew members pushed for aggressive expansion, while others urged caution. Parker found himself navigating a delicate balance, trying to keep everyone aligned while dealing with the ever-present external threats. Nature itself seemed to conspire against them. Harsh weather patterns threatened mining schedules. Sudden storms, freezing temperatures, and shifting river levels created unpredictable obstacles. Time was running out before the Yukon's brutal winter would force the crew to shut down operations. The looming question hung in the cold air. Could they extract and secure every ounce of this treasure before the wilderness closed in? Amidst the chaos, the human story unfolded in all its complexity. Each crew member carried their own burden, from grueling physical exhaustion to emotional strain. There was Mike, the veteran dredge operator whose calm demeanor steadied the crew during moments of panic. Lisa, the geologist, whose sharp eyes and relentless energy were crucial in locating the richest spots, but who struggled with the pressure of constant decision-making. And then there was Parker himself, caught between the demands of leadership and the personal sacrifices he was forced to make. Late-night strategy sessions became battlegrounds for ideas and egos. Heated arguments erupted, sometimes threatening to unravel months of hard-earned progress. Yet, through it all, moments of camaraderie shone brightly. Shared laughter over a hot meal, mutual support during breakdowns, and unspoken bonds forged in the face of adversity. Parker's leadership was put to the ultimate test. His usual tough, no-nonsense approach softened at times, revealing empathy as he worked to keep morale intact. Balancing the weight of responsibility with his own doubts, he pushed the team forward, knowing that unity was their strongest weapon. Family and personal sacrifices became glaringly apparent. Days stretched into weeks without seeing loved ones. Exhaustion shadowed every step. Yet, beneath the fatigue, sparks of renewed determination ignited again and again. Every challenge faced only fueled their collective drive. This haul was more than gold. It was a dream decades in the making. In this crucible of pressure, fear, and hope, the team pressed on, chasing a future shaped by the weight of every nugget they recovered. But the Yukon's weather was unforgiving. Snowstorms roared in without warning, blankets of white smothering the landscape and halting all progress. Freezing rain glazed every surface with deadly slickness, turning pathways into ice rinks and machinery into frozen statues. Icy winds whipped through the camp, cutting through layers of heavy clothing like knives. Each day was a test of endurance, not only for Parker and his crew, but for their equipment, which groaned under the strain of relentless cold. Machines that had performed flawlessly in warmer months now faltered. Hydraulic lines froze solid, rendering heavy machinery useless until painstakingly thawed with heat guns and desperate ingenuity. Dredge motors sputtered and died in the icy river currents, forcing the team into frantic repairs on unstable ice floes. When parts broke, there was no time to wait for replacements shipped from thousands of miles away. The crew became expert improvisers, welding, patching, and jury-rigging whatever they could to keep the operation alive. Working near the river presented constant danger. Swift currents threatened to drag equipment or even crew members under at any moment. Unstable ice edges gave way without warning, sending tools and sometimes people into freezing water. There were close calls that left hearts pounding and nerves frayed. Each day demanded absolute focus. One misstep could mean disaster. As the days grew shorter, the precious daylight dwindled to mere hours. The mining window narrowed, compressing months of work into a frenetic sprint. Every second counted, forcing the crew to push harder and longer despite the biting cold and physical toll. Fatigue settled deep in their bones, and frostbite became a constant threat. Fingers and toes numbed, faces burned by the wind, and eyes strained to see in the fading light. The mental resilience required was enormous. Exhaustion was an enemy as dangerous as the environment itself. Amidst these brutal conditions, Parker's edge came not just from grit, but from innovation. He deployed cutting-edge technology to tip the odds in their favor. Drones buzzed overhead, scouting remote and dangerous terrain far beyond what human eyes could safely reach. High-tech sluice designs improved gold capture rates, turning every scoop of dirt into a potential bonanza. Advanced prospecting tools gave real-time feedback on soil composition, guiding the crew to the richest pockets with surgical precision. Years of exploration had uncovered secret spots, hidden gold veins known only to Parker and his closest confidants. These discoveries were fiercely guarded. The team shared minimal details publicly, keeping rivals guessing. Parker mastered the art of strategic bluffing, releasing just enough information to build hype, but withholding crucial details about claim boundaries and mining intensity. This misinformation game kept competitors off balance, unable to predict his next move. Innovations extended beyond technology. Parker introduced novel processing techniques, combining old-school know-how with modern science to maximize recovery rates. Every ounce of gold was squeezed from the earth with ruthless efficiency, turning what others might dismiss as tailings into lucrative finds. His ability to balance transparency with secrecy created a powerful narrative. Fans and media saw progress, but the true scale of the operation remained shrouded in mystery. The haul had shifted the entire competitive landscape. Rival crews recalibrated their tactics, some stepping up aggression, others turning to underhanded sabotage. Attempts to disrupt Parker's mining included slashed hydraulic lines, stolen fuel, and even rumors spread to sow distrust within his camp. The stakes had escalated beyond mere mining. It was a battle for Yukon supremacy. Key rival crews emerged as formidable opponents, each with their own styles and strategies. Some relied on brute force and manpower, others on cunning legal maneuvers to contest claim boundaries. Negotiations behind closed doors involved alliances forged and broken in the blink of an eye. The gold mining community, once a loose network of competitors, had become a complex social web of alliances, betrayals, and power plays. Parker responded with a blend of legal savvy and tactical acumen. Claims were rigorously defended in court when challenged, while on the ground, the crew enhanced surveillance and security measures. Counter-sabotage efforts were launched quietly, designed to disrupt rival operations without drawing public attention. Parker played a high-stakes chess game, always several moves ahead. Psychological warfare became a subtle but potent weapon. Rumors circulated about Parker's next moves, some true, many planted deliberately to mislead. Mind games played out in the media and between crews, with intimidation tactics designed to unsettle opponents. The pressure was relentless, wearing on nerves and morale as much as physical labor. Through it all, Parker remained focused. The battle for the Yukon's richest haul was as much mental and strategic as it was physical. The stakes had never been higher, and every move counted in this relentless quest for gold and glory. But the cold was creeping in, faster than anyone had hoped. Winter's grip was tightening, and the precious mining window was shrinking by the day. Every sunrise brought less light, cutting the workday shorter and ratcheting up the pressure on Parker and his crew. There was no room for error. The final sprint had begun, and the clock was merciless. At the claim site, the team threw everything they had into extracting every last bit of gold. The machinery roared, moving massive amounts of earth with precision. Parker coordinated every move with a steady hand, orchestrating the crew like a conductor, guiding a symphony. Dredges cut through frozen riverbeds, sluices filtered dirt relentlessly, and hands sifted through tailings searching for overlooked treasures. The air was thick with the sounds of effort. Engines churning, water rushing, and voices shouting orders through the cold. Just when it seemed they might have uncovered every gold vein, surprises emerged. Pockets of gold previously undetected came to light, sparkling like hidden promises in the muck. But these discoveries came alongside setbacks. Crucial equipment faltered at critical moments. A dredge motor seized up mid-shift, forcing an urgent and risky field repair on unstable ice. Moments like these tested the crew's resolve, demanding quick thinking and unyielding determination. Through it all, Parker reflected on the journey that had brought him here. From a young kid following his grandfather into the gold fields, to a seasoned leader commanding one of the largest hauls in Yukon history, the path had been littered with risks and sacrifices. Every decision carried weight. A miscalculation could mean lost fortune or worse. Yet the dream driving him was more than gold. It was legacy, proving that grit and vision could triumph against nature's fiercest challenges. As the final weigh-in approached, the tension was palpable. Months of sweat, hope, and raw perseverance culminated in this moment. The crew held their breath, each knowing the haul represented more than a number. It was the sum of their struggle, their blood and cold nights, and their unbreakable spirit. When the scales tipped and the final count was announced, the celebration was immediate but tempered by exhaustion. Parker and his crew gathered together. Fatigue etched on their faces, but smiles wide and genuine. The historic success was theirs, a victory hard-won and deeply deserved. Media crews swarmed the site, capturing candid interviews and capturing the raw emotion of a team that had defied the odds. Plans to reinvest the massive haul into future operations were already being laid, with dreams of growth and innovation in every conversation. Beyond the immediate victory, Parker reflected on what this haul meant for his place in the Yukon mining community. It was a defining moment, a milestone that elevated not just his own name, but the entire region's reputation. Yet, amidst the triumph, there was acknowledgement of the cost. Long stretches away from family, the physical toll on bodies pushed to their limits, and the mental strain that shadowed every day in the field. Looking forward, Parker was already setting sights on the next chapter. Lessons learned from this season's roller coaster would shape strategies to come, ensuring that future hauls were not only as massive, but also more sustainable and secure. The legend was far from over. Hints of new frontiers began to emerge in his plans. Parker talked quietly about unexplored claims within the Yukon and even far-flung international gold fields, beckoning with untold potential. Technological upgrades were on the horizon, promising to push the boundaries of mining efficiency and environmental responsibility. As a mentor, Parker was determined to pass on his hard-earned knowledge to the next generation, both within his crew and his family, ensuring that the spirit of discovery and resilience endured. Environmental stewardship had become a priority as well. Under growing scrutiny, Parker committed to responsible mining practices that balanced the hunger for gold with respect for the land. The vision was clear: to transform from reality TV star to true Yukon legend, one who honored the past while forging a future built on innovation, integrity, and relentless ambition.